They say football is a game of inches, but sometimes it's a battle for your very life. This is the story of a man who shattered every limit, defied every fear, and played through an injury so devastating he shouldn't have even been able to stand. Yet he stood, he fought, and he won. He didn't just win a trophy, he won immortality.
This lad could save us from relegation.
This is not about football, Dad. He's a German, you can't just ignore that.
And by the end of this video, I'll challenge your football knowledge with a question only a true legend would know. One that'll stick with you forever, and impress anyone you ever tell it to. Stick with me. It was May 5th, 1956. Wembley Stadium roared with the fire of 100,000 souls. Manchester City stood on one side, Birmingham City, their rivals, on the other. In goal for City stood Bert Trautmann, a man whose mere presence was a story of its own. Once a German paratrooper in World War II. Now, an adopted son of England, facing his greatest battle yet. "You ready, Bert?" The manager clapped him on the back. Bert smiled, that kind of smile you force when the weight of history sits on your chest. "I've been ready my whole life," he said, and the whistle blew. Bert was electric, diving, blocking, commanding. The City fans sang his name like a hymn, but Birmingham pressed hard. A goal felt inevitable. Then, in the 73rd minute, it happened. A Birmingham striker broke free, the ball bouncing dangerously toward goal. Bert charged, fearless. The striker, desperate, lunged too. Crack. Their bodies collided in a sickening thud. Bert's head whipped back unnaturally. The stadium gasped. Bert collapsed. For a moment, time froze. Was he breathing? Was he conscious? The referee waved frantically for the trainers. City's staff rushed out, panic on their faces. "Bert, can you hear me?" The voice pierced through the fog in his mind. Bert blinked. Pain screamed through every nerve. He tried to nod, failed. Instead, he rasped, "I'm fine." He wasn't fine. Unknown to everyone, 5 vertebrae in his neck had fractured. One wrong movement, and he could die instantly. But here's the twist. Back then, there were no substitutions. If Bert left the field, Manchester City would play with 10 men and no goalkeeper. It wasn't just his own fate he held. It was the team's, the fans', history's. "Can you go on?" The coach asked again, his voice barely above a whisper. Bert gritted his teeth. "Tape me up," he croaked. "I'm finishing this." With his neck broken and his body screaming for mercy, Bert stood up. The stadium erupted. They thought it was bravery. They didn't realize it was madness. Every movement was agony. Every dive a gamble with death. And still, Bert kept playing. He leapt for saves. He shouted instructions. He punched crosses out of the air with a broken spine. Manchester City, inspired by their wounded gladiator, surged forward. Goal. Goal again. By the 90th minute, City led 3-1. Victory was near, but so was collapse. Imagine this. You're running on pure instinct, pure adrenaline, knowing that at any second your body could simply stop. Forever. Would you still go for that next save? Bert did. Final whistle. Wembley shook with cheers. Confetti rained down. Bert's teammates swarmed him, lifting him onto their shoulders. The hero of the final. And Bert smiled, even as his vision blurred and the world spun around him. The crowd didn't know. His teammates didn't know. Even Bert himself didn't fully know how close he had come to never walking off that pitch alive. 2 days later, at the hospital, the truth came crashing down. X-rays revealed it. 5 fractured vertebrae, 1 cracked completely in 2. The doctor stared at the films, pale-faced. You should be dead." Bert just chuckled weakly. "I had a final to win." And here's something even crazier. Had Bert moved his head even slightly the wrong way during that match, he would have either been paralyzed or instantly killed. Yet somehow, some miracle, some cosmic willpower, kept him alive. The legend of Bert Trautmann was born that day, but his story didn't end there. In the years that followed, he became a symbol, not just of bravery, but of forgiveness. Because don't forget, Bert was a former German soldier playing in England just a decade after the horrors of World War II. Many hated him at first. Crowds shouted slurs, some threw stones, but he won them over. Not with words, but with actions, with saves, with loyalty, with heart. In 1956, Bert Trautmann won the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year award, the first goalkeeper ever to receive it, not for stats, not for fame, but for courage beyond measure. And today, almost no goalkeeper is celebrated like Bert. No amount of gloves, fancy saves, or acrobatics can match the raw, breathtaking willpower of what he did on that day. And now, You know the story, a story most fans will never hear, a story you can now tell and own forever. But before we wrap up, I promised you a challenge. Here's your question. During that 1956 FA Cup final, Manchester City scored 3 goals to secure victory. Who scored the final goal that sealed the win? Was it A. Bobby Johnstone, B. Jack Dyson, C. Joe Hayes? Think carefully, comment your answer below, and show the world you know the legends behind the legends. And hey, if this story moved you even just a little, smash that subscribe button. Because on this channel, we don't just talk about football, we honor the warriors who made it great. See you in the next story.